gives us 55 minutes.
Okay.
Someone has to be the heavy around here, and I guess it's me.
Well, you guys, I had plotted and planned because if you're on Instagram, you know that right now you're listening to this episode, but we are on our cruise.
Mm-hmm.
We are cruising together. And I had thought maybe we were going to do something a little different, a little special for this episode to commemorate being on a cruise.
Okay.
However,
Yeah, we were going to do the questions stuff, but I think we can bring those on our cruise, and maybe we answer them in the room.
I think that's what we do because there was so much we didn't get to last week because we had to scoot our boot.
Yeah, we had a very, very important interview.
Important. And by now, some of you might have already heard or seen that. But we won't say anything because we just don't want to give anything away.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And I haven't been able to say anything, but y'all remember months ago, I did not do a thumbs down, but months ago, I told Kristen, she was like, hey, I've had this in my notes where like, you FaceTimed me and you were going to say something. Why is this lapsing? Is that going to be a problem on the video?
I don't know.
Because like it's lapsing and I don't want to do a whole thing and then you'd be like, oh my God, we can't use the video. I know that we're overworking. Again, not doing a thumbs down. I wonder if it has something to do with these effects.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to movies.
This thumbs down. It's the effects that are making it laggy, I think.
Dumb.
And stupid. Stupid and dumb. The D and the S word.
Okay, which one is this?
That's last week's.
I can now delete this.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm also wondering, is it laggy because of this?
Oh, because it's open.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Has it done what it needed to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just let this think a second.
Mm-hmm. Sessions
There
one.
it is.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, great.
It's so cute. He's like, I'm going to set up my phone.
It's
Like, it's so cute.
okay.
And that he watched it with his kids. Oh my God, I just can't get enough of that.
So cute. It's still. What is with these reactions?
I'm going to put my hand, I'm just going to sit on my hands.
If they pop up,
I
let's
don't
just
know.
we'll just ignore. And then in the meantime, I will figure it out. Okay, but you were about to say, remember the surprise.
Oh yeah. So Kristen's like, hey, I've had this on my list. You FaceTimed me and then I didn't pick up. And then you were like, never mind. And then you'll find out at some point. But did I ever find out? And I'm like, that reminds me, I need to send another follow-up email because the last date didn't work. And now I need to find a new one. And anyway, I found a new one.
You guys,
I found a new date.
the surprise, I'll never get over it.
No.
Like I said, by the time this comes out, y'all might have heard it. I don't know, but like, I will never get over it.
It was so fun to scheme and to plot and to actually be able to surprise Kristen.
Yes,
It
and
was
I
so
love.
great.
You don't love to be surprised.
No.
I do.
Yeah, I do.
Do love to be surprised.
And I will keep doing
And
it.
it could be you bringing a food item.
Yeah.
It could be
Yeah.
like whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be
Yeah.
something grand. Like, I just love to be surprised.
Well, this was grand.
It was grand.
It was grand, and
Yes.
y'all don't get it twisted, y'all. It's not a famous person, but
No.
it's Podcats lore.
Yes.
And when we talk about like this is the backbone of this here podcast is sharing a funny story, a once in a lifetime thing, and then that's what this guest was. And I'm just so excited that it worked out and that we made it happen finally. And so
Yes.
now you can let that go in your brain.
Yes.
There is, more might be coming, but it's not this anymore.
Okay.
It's not the FaceTime call that you missed.
Okay. I can finally delete that from my notes
Delete that off
app.
your notes app. Won't that feel good?
So you guys, we're on the cruise. I can say we're having a great time.
Yeah, because we know we're having a great time.
We know that we are. Unlike some of the people who I think are very stressed about the cruise. When you got here, you were saying.
I'm in this private cruise group. So Heather McMahon Cruise is what we're on.
Yes.
And we have been in the Heather 911 group since she created it on Facebook 2019 probably.
Yeah.
Then if you bought tickets on the cruise, then you got invited into this second group.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Rise and Grind Norwegian Gem or something like that.
Yeah,
But like you just know that you're now in this group, and the amount of questions
Yeah.
from the people.
Plotting and
It's-
planning. They're trying to plot and plan, and I get that, but it's getting to like a neurotic level.
Yeah, it's like, will I be able to bring the diffuser attachment for my blow dryer?
No.
I understand that's important to my curly hair girls. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you can bring a blow dryer and then you can bring your diffuser attachment. I think what people are wondering is we know that the rooms come with a blow dryer. So will my diffuser attachment fit on that blow dryer? And I just want to say, I think that's a little too specific.
It's very specific, but also there is a universal diffuser. If anyone's listening that cares, there's a universal diffuser you can buy on Amazon that will fit any size blow dryer.
And there we have it.
And I own 2 of them.
There you go. And I'm sure you do because one's never enough.
Because in case I lose one.
Right, of course. Yes. That's what Matt, in case she loses one. But like stuff like that, I'm just thinking, do we need a whole separate post about this?
Yeah, because there's
It's
so
just
many
plugging up
posts.
the feed. And it's
Yeah.
like, hey, if I have this and I have this specific thing, and I get it. Like the breastfeeding, pumping mamas are now concerned about where will the freezer, how cold does the freezer portion of the fridge inside of our room get, and will it? And I was a breastfeeding mama too. I totally get it. But
Yeah.
at some point, I did need to, even in my breastfeeding journey, be like, I might have to toss out some milk sometimes.
Yeah.
And yeah, that sucks. But am I going to let something stress me out so much that I can't enjoy what I'm currently on?
Yeah.
Because I'm worried about the milk, the teat milk.
You got to pump and dump.
Yeah, you just got to pump it
And
down.
I know that Jackie pumped and dumped a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I remember some of those stories.
My sister was famous. And she taught me this, okay? And I mean, if she's taught me one thing, she's taught me 100. And this is one of them, is that, if you decide that you're going to drink and you're going to get litty titty, pun intended.
Yes.
If you're going to get litty titty, like she, instead of pumping and dumping, she would take that 6 ounces of drunk milk and she would spread that out over 6 bags. So there was only an ounce of like the litty titty milk. And then she would pump, a couple of days later of good clean milk.
Yes.
And then she would fill up the rest of the bags. And she's like, because there's there's only a small trace getting through to the milk
Right.
anyway. So then if we're breaking that down and splitting it up over 6 or 7 bags,
Right.
how much are we really talking?
Trace amount.
Trace amounts. And so she was just like, I think I'm going to do that instead. And I said, you know what, Jackie? I like it.
And her kids were incredible sleepers.
Really, truly the best sleepers in the world. Still are. Still. So take a lesson or two from Jackie there. She will teach your kids how to sleep. She got on me about the whole Bella situation. And that's the reason why I made it. I did it correctly with Lily, and then I became a sleep trainer because I was like, don't do what I did.
Yeah.
Learn from me. It's not because I came from a high and mighty place
That's
of doing
true.
it all correctly.
That's true.
It's because I knew. I mean, y'all, I was letting Bella. One, I was breastfeeding exclusively. She wouldn't take a bottle. In quotes, y'all, your kids will take a bottle. If you were to die tomorrow and your kids are breastfeeding, they're going to take a bottle.
They will.
Like they will.
They will.
So you kind of have to force it. And I know it's hard. And I didn't force it.
Mm-hmm.
So I am latched on, again, pun intended, to my child. She's latched to me. I am latched to her. We are latched to each other. I couldn't do anything, I felt like. It was very difficult for a year. Then I finally transitioned her to, and that even meant in the middle of the night, right? I'm
And
getting
that's
up to
why
breastfeed.
You got kicked out of that wedding. Wait, have we ever talked about that?
No. Nope.
Do you
Have
think,
not.
Do you think you ever could talk about that?
I don't know. Yes, I can because
maybe
it's my life and this is what I went through and it will be a Patreon.
We'll do that on Patreon. But y'all, whoa, gird your loins, because this story is going to have some of y'all whipped up into a frenzy.
Yeah, there will be people rioting in the streets.
They'll be
here.
rioting in the streets.
Yeah.
For the ladies of All That to Say specifically.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, Bella's with me everywhere. I'm still nursing in the night and the whole thing. And then my sister finds out that even though I switched her to a cup of whole milk and like I at least detached from the breast,
Yeah.
that in the middle of the night, if Bella cried, I would walk a cup of milk into her.
No.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And that's so crazy for you to say.
I know.
Because that's so not you now.
It's not me.
You would never.
It's not me. Here's the thing. I'm such a terrible sleeper. I'm like, well, I'm up anyway. Like, I'll
Yeah.
just walk a cup of milk in. Terrible idea.
Bad idea.
We ended up selling our first home too soon. We moved in with my sister because our second home wasn't built yet. I mean, it wasn't completed. So there was about a 7-week time difference because we sold our first house so quickly.
I didn't know you lived with them for a little bit.
For 7 weeks we did. So we moved into their guest room and then we put a pack and play in the closet of that guest room. And that's the first time my kids ever slept in closets.
Oh my gosh.
And we kept it going.
Yeah, closet sleep.
The best.
A+.
Yep. So Bella was in that closet. We are in the same room. Now when she's screaming and wanting milk, I can't even hide.
No.
I can't. So I'm like, And she would say, because she was talking at this point, this happened until 19 months old. She was talking and she would say, milk, mama, please. Milk, mama, please.
No.
So that's even harder. This is why I tell parents all the time, do it before they can talk, because once they can, it's even harder to ignore. It's even harder to get through.
Break your heart.
So my sister hears it from her room.
She's like,
hell no, to the na na na, hell to the na. Yeah, Jackie's like that. Not in my house. Not in this house where we could be splitting up drunk milk. Yeah. Give it to Bella. She'll sleep.
Give her the full bag of drunk milk.
Yeah. No splitting it up this time. She's getting all 6 ounces of litty titty milk.
Oh my gosh.
So Jackie's like, please just go away and I will have her trained in 2 days.
Yes.
I will have her trained in 2 days. You and Joshua will go away for the weekend. I'm like, I can't do that to her. Anyway, Jackie eventually did like literally hold me down. She's like, you cannot do this. This is not acceptable. Make her, she can sleep through the night, Miranda. She is 26 pounds. Like, stop. She's talking in full sentences. She can sleep through the night without milk.
She's saying please. She's using her manners.
Truly, I'm grammatically correct and all that. And so I said, I know that you're right.
Yeah.
I know you're right.
It's hard as a first-time mom, though.
But
as
I
a
just
first-time mama,
fell into it. I fell into it. And so I learned a lot. I learned a lot from that. And she was absolutely correct. 3 nights, done. That habit was broken. And it just took me being held down.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jackie, for doing that. I did need it. I fixed all of that with Lily. I pushed her out. They hadn't finished sewing me up. And I said, bring her in a bottle.
Yes.
Bring her in a bottle of colostrum. I'll pump out, 5 milliliter or whatever it is, mLs.
mLs, and stick that in her
and I will put it in that tiny little bottle, and I will nipple feed her that, because I cannot do it again. And she had no problem. Breast to bottle to breast to bottle. Good. And I exclusively breastfed her for a year too. And it was great. She always took a bottle. And you know what? At 10 weeks, she was sleeping through the night. Ooh. I never made that mistake again.
Oh my gosh.
Never.
It's nice to hear you admit faults.
Yeah. I have so many. I do have so many, but you really got to remind me of them. The problem is not that I think I don't have faults. My problem is that my memory is so bad. I sometimes forget, especially. This was 18 years ago. I forget.
18 years.
Yeah. I mean,
I all that to say, where's the bell? We moved it.
The back up.
Don't do that on the cruise.
Oh, that's where we were going. Okay. Anyway, so there are so many people asking all these questions, and I know I'm so type B, C, D, E, F, and G.
I know.
That I can't relate to it, and you can't either.
No, we know we're gonna pack the things that we need, and we will go. And if we have to wing a few things, we'll wing it, and it's gonna be fine. You're on an all-inclusive cruise. Like, I think people will keep forgetting that portion of it. Like, everything's included. Everything that you're going to need will be there. This is very Americanized also.
Yep.
Like they know.
And everything's for sale. If you forget something, just buy it. Yeah, you're going to pay a premium price of it. But it's not like you're going to be without something. People are like, what if I have this diabetic attack? It's like, there's a hospital on the cruise. You don't think that they have insulin on it?
Everything's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
We got into this with our cruise too.
Did
I just make sense? Did I say a word?
Yeah.
Did I enunciate any one of the words in those sentences?
I know what you said. We got into this on our cruise too.
We did.
And
that's okay. And we love our podcast and we love our cruising cats specifically.
Yes.
But another thing that I do want people to know, because I know a lot of people are going on cruises. This is a much more affordable way to travel.
Yes.
Especially when you're watching all the pennies and all the things.
Yes.
And so here's something that I want people to know, and I've tried to tell the people in this group as well, because there were people in our groups that were very concerned about the dinner reservation system of it all.
Yes.
And so what I want to tell y'all is you can make dinner reservations. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But if you're someone who is like, will we eat if we don't have reservations? You will still eat.
Yes.
So the cruises are built for this. They know that plans change all day long. You might want to
Yes.
stay at the pool. You might be taking too long to get ready.
Yes.
You don't want to rush to get to this predetermined time that you set up 6 months ago about
Yes.
when you think you're going to want to eat on Tuesday night.
Let me tell you something. I do not like feeling rushed.
I don't either.
I do not like feeling rushed.
No.
And I will tell you a little bit more about our spring break.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of was a requirement if you wanted to eat at the nicer restaurants at this resort that you had to make the reservation. And it stunk because I shouldn't say it stunk. This place was amazing.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit hard on some nights because we would want to stay by the pool a little longer.
Yes.
We would want to linger in the spa a little longer.
Uh-huh.
First world problems, I know. But then it would just be like, hurry, 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 get back, throw things together. Everything's in a tornado. We got to get there for the reservation. And they were very strict about their reservations.
They were.
here. So
A lot of places like that are, but on
Yeah.
cruises, it's not.
no, on cruises you just show up.
So you can just, you can make a reservation, like I said, and then you can walk down there at that exact time, and then you can be sat. But if you don't, you can walk right up to the people, even with our group as big as 20 for us.
Yeah.
We could walk up at any time and go, okay, we have 20. And they'd go, great. Okay, we're going to put you at this table, and this table right next to each other. Great.
Yeah.
You're not going hungry on a cruise. This idea of like, if I don't make a
know.
reservation, will I eat?
Well, and also they have just the quick stop
Yeah.
places that you can eat. And
Yeah.
I imagine that you and I are going to eat at some of those places.
Correct.
Where you just swing in and get a little slice of pizza.
Yeah, they have pizza 24/7. You just go get a slice of pizza.
Just slice off the gyro meat and just throw it into my mouth while I walk by.
Literally, just
don't have
flick
to-
a shrimp from the hibachi and I'll. That's it.
That's all you have to do.
Everyone was so paranoid about this, like
so much
dinner
food.
time. Oh my gosh! And if we don't make the reservations, and who's going to sit with it? It's just like it's not. It's actually not that complicated on a cruise, which is what's so nice about it. That's the appeal of it.
Yep.
So if you want to sit by the pool until 8 p.m. because you are having the best time vibing with
Right.
whoever you are, then you just stay. I don't want to be the one who's like, sorry, we have to leave at 5:30 to start to go downstairs and get ready for
Yeah, see, I
dinner.
don't- when it comes to like the getting ready portion, especially like on this trip where it's me and you and we want to get ready and then we'll probably want to like make
Pictures,
a reel
yep.
and take pictures
Yep.
and do the things. I just don't want to feel rushed to a 6 p.m. reservation. I don't.
Absolutely not. It will never be us.
No.
So y'all know that if you're going on a cruise, don't worry about making reservations. And I say even the same about Disney. You will not catch me making a character dining reservation or anything like that. Absolutely not. One, they're just ungodly expensive. But two, there's so much food. You can just walk up and buy
Yes.
and sit down still.
Yes.
They're giving you this sense of like scarcity. If you don't
Yes.
book it, it will be scarce. There's not one damn thing in Disney that's scarce.
Yes.
That word doesn't even it even exist there, and it doesn't exist on a cruise.
You're so right. They're trying to push the fear of scarcity. And I don't
It's a
know
scarcity
why.
mindset.
Because you're making women hysterical about it.
And
Stop.
we're already hysterical because we're all elder millennials or Gen Xers who are in perimenopause or menopause.
Yes.
We don't need this too. Don't you dare come to me with a reservation. Don't do it.
sick.
It's sick.
So anyway, it
We're on the
is.
cruise and we're loving it.
You know what I love thinking about?
Yeah.
Because it's meta.
Yep.
Is that we're on the cruise right now and we can't find a thing to eat.
Yeah. That would be funny. We're starving. Our stomachs are literally rumbling. Rumbling from hunger.
Gosh, I love the thought of us listening back to this being like, but we're so hungry.
Because we're taking so long to get ready. But don't worry, we're going to make a cute reel with no energy. So my hand's going to shake like this because my blood sugar is tanked. Don't worry, it'll be worth it.
Speaking of, have you started watching Extracted yet?
No.
Okay, please.
I feel like I haven't been home since you told me
haven't.
about it.
You haven't been home, but there's been a couple of people that have texted or DM'd who
Oh,
have
good.
said, my family and I, we've started watching it. We love it. Oh my
good.
gosh, what do you think about this? So people are really liking it. This is your reminder. Go watch Extracted with your family.
I
Y'all
love when
will
y'all
love
take
it.
our advice. Thank you so much. It
Yes.
means that you trust us and you should.
Yes, people do take our advice every now and again. Not on money, not on Bitcoin, but
Yeah. Obviously not on that, not on like how to save. But and maybe not on the whole like drunk breast milk. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do with that information. But it is nice to know.
yeah.
And what you do with that is on you, but it is nice to know. And I stand by that on a lot of things. I'm like, I will never go forward with any of that, but it's nice to know.
It's nice to know. It's nice to know. Okay, I didn't get to tell y'all on our last what time we got here. It's only been 19 minutes, but hey, who cares?
We'll do it in
It's our podcast. We do what we want to do.
That's right. Tell us about your spring
yeah,
break.
let me tell you about
Spring break.
Spring break. We had a fantastic time. And really the main reason I want to tell y'all about it is because I think people need to know about this place. And y'all need to know now while it's fresh. Here's the deal.
Is it brand new?
It's 9 months old.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so y'all know cruise director Matt is going to dig. He's going to dig into the dark webs and he's going to find the very best thing for the very best deal.
Yes, he is.
And so he had asked his AI to send him a list of 10 resorts, 10 all-inclusive resorts that are within 2 to 3 hours plane ride,
Okay.
nonstop plane ride, all-inclusive, and as new as could be, less than a year old, a couple years old. So he had all these parameters. And so it spits out this information.
It's amazing.
It's so smart.
I just don't use AI period or ChatGPT, and I know I need to because anytime someone does it for me, I'm like, well, that's brilliant.
It's so freaking brilliant. Like if you're going to go on a trip, Sean actually just sent us a thing. So their family, they're going to go to DC. And so he asked Grok, he said, I've got a family of 8. We're going to DC. Here's the days we're going. What should we do? How should we plan this trip for the best days, for things that are open on some days or closed on other days?
Right.
Here's the ages of our kids. What do you think would be it spent a whole itinerary out to him.
So brilliant.
Y'all,
I love that.
get on the AI.
I'm not doing it enough, and I know.
And so Grok tells us, hey, there's this resort called Ava Resort, AVA. It's in Cancun, but don't think of it as like, woo, Cancun's.
And like Senior Frogs
no,
taking like beer funnels on top of countertops.
And that's the first thing that
bar
came.
tops, maybe not countertops. I don't go to like someone's house and do that.
Yeah, not the countertop.
Like a bar top.
Yeah,
Like a bar top. Yeah.
But it comes back and it says this is really about 20 minutes from where all that stuff is in Cancun. Okay, so you're a little bit separated. You're closer to the airport, which is great. We love that. Family friendly, all inclusive, all the things. So he starts digging into this, and then we realize kids 17 and under are free.
Whoa.
They are free.
Game changer.
Okay. Whoever's listening to this and you have kiddos.
Well, why aren't Sean and Gigi going there?
I know, they
6
really need
kids
to.
under
I told Jen Davis.
Yeah.
I have told multiple friends that have lots of kids, especially. I'm like, you need to jump on this. Now, so you're going to pay for your room and you're going to pay for the adults in the room because it is all inclusive. So you're paying for that. And the kids will stay in those rooms with you, but you're not paying anything for those kids to be there with you and eat all the food and use all the amenities. You're not paying for that.
Whoa.
Right?
Okay.
So what we did, instead of doing the suite, because the suite was pricey.
Okay.
We said, let's do 2 rooms side by side.
Okay.
They said we could do that, 2 rooms side by side. So technically, my name's on one room, Matt's name is on the other.
Okay.
Had plenty of space for everybody. Our kids stayed in one, and we stayed in the one right
I
next
bet y'all
door.
did.
We sure did.
Yep.
You know that.
I know that.
And I mean, y'all.
But they're not asked about it on the Parrot app, but yeah.
I wish.
I know.
I actually wish the Parrot app would be like, so how was spring break?
I got a lot to say.
Tell us what you were into. Okay, so this resort, one of the biggest resorts / hotels I've ever been to in my life, and that is because it was long. And the reason they built it that way is every room is ocean facing.
Right.
There is nothing facing a parking lot. Every room is ocean facing, and every balcony of each room has its own little hot tub jacuzzi situation going on.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't matter what you book, you are going to get that.
Whoa.
Yes. And so you wake up, if you do your room service, again, that's included.
Oh my
They
gosh.
can just bring it, or you go down to the multiple buffets.
Yep.
And here's the thing. The food was unbelievable.
Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Sometimes when you hear
all-inclusive,
you're thinking, okay,
Candies and fries.
yeah, we're kind of mailing it in with the food a little bit. No.
We're doing a lot of like frozen reheated stuff.
Yes, y'all, this was the top tier cuisine. Steakhouses, Indian restaurants, Mediterranean restaurants,
Oh my gosh.
hibachi restaurants,
Oh, heck
Italian, Mexican, of course. But then even just going to the buffets.
Was
I mean,
so
the
good.
very first thing we ate when we got there, we just went to the buffet. This woman's on a griddle.
Uh-huh.
And she's they're calling them quesadillas, but it was more like a taco.
What are they calling them?
They're calling them quesadillas.
Thank you.
Quesadillas,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
more
yeah.
like a taco.
Thank you.
This is how she made it. she puts the cheese on the griddle first.
Like we talked about, crisping up that cheese like Taco Bell's about to do with their cheesy taco shell.
And I'm certain that the Ava Resort learned this from Taco Bell.
Obviously.
Not the abuelas teaching them. It's Taco Bell
It's got to be the Taco Bell. I'm sure that they would say that proudly.
And so they sizzle the cheese. That's
Elizabeth
sizzling.
is literally like, shh, no, girl.
She
Absolutely stop.
You're the
Stop.
worst. It's sizzling the cheese. Then she puts your meat of choice.
Heck yeah.
Carnitas, of
Oh,
course, for me.
heck yeah. You love a pork carnita.
That's sizzling. Then a little more cheese
Mm-hmm.
to attach that tortilla to the back. She's smashing that down, sizzling, flips it, hands it to me. Now there's a toppings bar.
Oh, no.
Now there's
Tell
a
me,
toppings
yeah.
bar.
What did you get on that? What topping did you get on that?
Every kind of
Sour
topping
cream.
you can imagine.
Sour
Oh,
cream?
They had 6 different types of creamy dressings.
Oh, of course they did. Oh, what did they have? Like an avocado?
Oh, they had avocado, cilantro. They
hell
had
yeah.
different levels of spice, so you could pick what kind of spice
Yes,
you want. Then they,
yes.
of course, have the pico de gallo.
Yes.
They've
Nice
got,
crunchy lettuce to
yes,
get on there.
extra cheese if you want
Black
that.
olives?
I don't know if they had olives. They had diced onion. I know you don't want that, but
No,
I want
you
that.
do. You do.
Beans, rice. They had it all.
Ugh.
So I am just piling this on my
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
little taco quesadillas. and again, this is the first thing I'm eating.
Yes.
First thing I'm eating.
Yes.
And we go and we sit down and I bite into that and I just look into Matt's soul and I
mean-
said, you have picked right.
You have done this family proud.
You have done this. You know, the lobby, the vast expanse of this resort was impressive, Matt, but it is this quesadilla that has given the stamp of approval for me.
I'm cramping when they say, it's the opposite of you have brought shame upon our family. You have brought pride upon our family.
Pride. It was
Yeah.
Pride Rock. He was on Pride Rock. He is Simba.
If you could hold him up, you would have.
I would have.
You had the same kind of pride that Rafiki had for Simba.
Yes.
If you could have lifted Matt, you would have.
That's exactly,
Yeah.
that's exactly how I felt. And so he sprinted over to her and got that for himself because he could tell how delicious it was.
Yeah.
And then he also
That you were just
agreed.
having an out of body experience.
Not outer body. Let's clarify that.
Yeah, I was just about to, and I'm like, you know what, her story is so good.
No.
But yeah, I have seen people type outer body experience, and it's not even that that's wrong or like I get it.
could say that.
I get how you could hear that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. I'm outside of my body.
Yeah, outer
But
body.
It's an out of body experience.
Out of
It's saying like this doesn't usually happen to me, so I feel like I'm outside of my body. So just say out of body, not outer body.
Okay,
it's not your skin.
Yeah, that did need to be
It
said.
did. It did.
Because
Thank
I see
you.
it and hear it a lot.
A lot.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so anyway, we eat. The kids are gorging on all the foods Nutella pizzas and 3 different hot bars. There's just so much. There's abundant drinks.
Yes.
Everything is delicious. Everything's wonderful, and this resort is immaculate. And why? Because it's only 9 months old.
Yes.
It's the Ava Resort is 9 months old at the time of this recording. Okay. So I need you to run. I need you to run to your computer.
Is there a time in which you don't want to go to Cabo?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I think in the summer, it is VVV hot.
Right.
So I think their peak times really are fall, winter, when people are trying to get away from the cold to go get warm.
But not just be scorching.
Yes, so I do wonder about that, but they might have better deals during those months. If you don't mind being hot, you can sit under any of the umbrellas and cabanas that are available to anyone at any time.
You didn't have to run and go reserve them first thing in the morning
No.
because they were always taken or gone.
Never had to run and reserve. And I was
Wow.
falling into that trap a little bit in the mornings, those first couple mornings. I'm like, Matt, are you sure? I have to have an umbrella because
Yeah.
of my nose. I'm a little bit worried. No, there were 50 umbrellas by the time we got out there.
Okay, amazing.
Yes.
So you pay for the room, but then but it's all inclusive. So that room charge might seem higher, but what you're saving on not having to pay for every single meal, especially for your kids.
Correct.
Okay.
It is such a steal, you guys. And you can do, one day we did leave the resort to go do the boat thing and do some little touring. And that was great, but you really don't have to leave this resort.
Right.
You can do every
But I
kind
know
of
Matt
acti-
needs to.
He's
got to do
But
excursions.
honestly, we did the one day and he was like, I think we're good. I don't
Okay.
think we need to come back out into the heart of Cancun.
Did y'all parasail?
No.
But did you see parasailing?
We didn't.
Okay. So that means that the resort's even better because if the parasailing is happening right there in the beach in front of the resort,
No, there was no.
You don't want that,
parasailing.
actually.
Absolutely not. We did not see that, and I would have taken a video and
Thank you.
tagged you in it if I.
There
had
are
seen.
so many videos I took while at Disney that were like niche. I just need to go through and post them, but we were dark.
That's what I'm saying.
We were dark, so we have nothing. Like y'all, we are gonna have to do a dump.
A dump.
Yeah. And that's true too. We could end the sentence there.
We are
You
going to
can
have to
assume
do a dump.
photo or feces, either one. Both.
But I took so many niche pictures and
Yeah.
videos. I was cleaning out my fridge the other day while we were dark, and I found something, but I said I can't post it.
Can't post it.
So we will, by the time they hear this, we will have done
We will have already done that, but we need to remind ourselves. If we say it out loud, we will do it. So maybe today, if you're like, that doesn't matter, we're in the future.
We're in the future. We're on a boat.
We're on a boat.
We've already done our dump.
I mean, I think that means you were in our same backdrop.
We're on a boat.
YouTube's like, you're not on a boat. You're in teal chairs. And your neon signs behind you, and the candle vigil is lit.
But just trust us. If you only watch us on YouTube,
but if you are listening, we are on a boat. Listen to the waves.
listen to Miranda's twin size mattress hit the water.
Great
Was that
callback.
good?
Great callback. Yeah, that's really good.
You know what? My hat is somewhere in that ocean. My buffalo sauce hat.
Oh, that buffalo sauce. I thought you were talking about the very wide brim one that you're bringing on the cruise, but maybe you're not, because now I've seen that you're wearing a little bit smaller of hats to Cabo. You had like your visor and you
I
had...
know, but I didn't have the hat yet because I did order it, and I think it's coming from somewhere very far away because
Oh.
it has not arrived, and I'm a little bit nervous.
Okay.
I need my hat.
Okay, so the ones on Cabo did not work,
Well, no, they did. Like the visor's great, all of that's
but we
great.
need the hat for the bit.
We need the hat for the bit, and also
And for your cancer, but like for the bit, right?
but like for the bit,
Like for the bit, right?
yeah. But because the umbrellas were abundant, it never felt like a problem. I don't know on this cruise what the umbrella situation.
You're right. No, you're right. And I will listen. I will get you an umbrella.
Please,
I will get you an umbrella. Don't worry.
get
babe.
my P duty parasol.
Yes, exactly. Duty parasol. So Ava Resorts. Tell them one more
Yeah.
time.
AVA. This is in Cancun. You guy, I am telling you, please get with your husband, get on the laptop. You're going to go online and you're going to book it. You're going to book it for your fall break. You're going to book it for Christmas. Maybe you just don't do any gifts and you just decide to go here, and you will feel like a queen in this resort. And here's the other thing I've told people. At no point did I feel like anything was too adult or too crazy or too wild for my kids, but it also wasn't
Right.
annoyingly kid friendly.
Okay, good.
I wasn't annoyed by anyone else's kids.
Yeah. Oh, I like that for
Because when you hear kid friendly, you think,
Yep. It's just going to be a bunch of kids running amok. Parents who are
not.
like, we're on vacation, so I'm not disciplining anymore.
it was not that at all.
And y'all said that there were 4 escape rooms.
4 escape rooms. Actually, there were 6. There were 6 escape
my
rooms.
gosh.
We did 2 of them. They were fantastic.
Okay.
They were beautifully done.
Okay.
Laser tag. You can do like a
Laser tag. You know, that's niche.
Oh, it's very niche. You can, and I won our first round. Thank you so much.
Bet you did.
There's like a virtual reality kind of racing thing that you can do. The kids club. Y'all know they have to have a kids club.
Right.
Unbelievable. 6 Xboxes. Kids playing Fortnite.
Did your kids
running
like it?
around. Kids loved it.
Okay, great. So you and Matt were able to get time, and the kids clubs included?
Yes. So Tinsley was technically had aged out of it, but like they didn't care. Tinsley
Okay.
ran around down there.
Okay.
She was loving life, doing trampoline. I actually thought of your girls because I'm like, even Bella and Lily would love this.
They love anything like that. They're just kids at heart. They love that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
they don't want to grow up either.
They have a teen club as well.
Oh, so Tinsley could have gone to that?
Yeah, and she chose not to, and I understand.
Oh.
But there is a teen club, and that was more like they had some basketball courts. They had some more video games. I think they like kind of tried to make like a
dance club.
Yeah, like a club atmosphere. But
Yeah.
Tinsley is like,
It was club, not club.
I am here alone. Like I
Yeah.
can't just go into the space and like stand around in the teen club.
Okay.
But they do have that if you want it.
Well, how about the prices of like the spa services and stuff? Were they pretty comparable to here? Were they even cheaper?
They were cheaper.
Wow.
They were cheaper because here's what I'll say. This is a resort where they would love for you to kind of do a little timeshare situation.
Oh, did you have to go to like a meeting?
We never had to.
Okay.
Now it was asked. And so if that makes you uncomfortable, just know that you just need to shut it down from the beginning.
Yeah, just say no.
And Matt is so good at that. You're great
Oh,
at
yeah.
it too.
Yeah, I just say no.
The guy, he sat with us and was telling us all the things like, hey, I'd love to meet with you. And Matt said to him, listen, let us do this vacation.
Yeah.
And if I feel like I want to talk to you about it by the end, I'll let you know.
Absolutely.
And that's how he shut it down. Bada bing, bada boom. They
Yep.
weren't pushy about it.
Okay, good.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But because of that, they actually deeply discount a lot of the spa services and cabanas and maybe some things that you want to do that would be extra and cost a lot more. They deeply discount because they're trying to kind of hook you and say, well, if you were a timeshare holder, this would be your price.
Okay.
So that's kind of
good to know.
Yeah, good little tip. But we had great massages. The spa. I've never been in a spa like it in my life.
It looked gorgeous.
It was an underground labyrinth.
Yeah.
That stretched on for a mile. It was unbelievable.
You know, I'm not a spa girly, but I would just like to go walk around there.
Yeah.
And I assume it was very cold.
It was cold.
Oh, I like
it was
that.
dark
and cold.
It was quiet.
Yep.
You could go just get your hair blow dry if you want. You could, you can go down there and do whatever.
They had it all.
They had it all.
I love that.
Okay, so podcasts, we're giving you
Now
tips.
you know.
Now you know.
Now you know. Ava Resorts in Cabo San Lucas. Cabo San Lucas.
Just
Cabo.
Cabo. Let's just call it Cabo. No, not Cabo. Cancun.
Cancun. In Cancun.
Yeah.
All right, look it up. You can attach the link too.
Yes,
For
we will.
that, I would love for them to host us sometime. Hear us, please.
Okay.
Okay, speaking of vacations, I obviously went to Disney.
Yes.
She's in Cancun. I'm in Disney at Epcot. So similar. Right.
Yeah, you're traveling
I'm
abroad.
in Mexico. Yeah. Y'all know it's the first country when you walk into the left.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I told Kristen something exciting that I decided, and this is breaking news, that I decided this Disney trip I was going to wear panties. Yeah.
That's right, the panties.
And I know some of y'all don't like the word panties. Grow up. Like I don't know how else to say that. I can't even relate. I can't even be like, yeah, I can see why. But I can't. I don't. My brain doesn't compute it. It's
Yes.
just a word, and it's just panties.
It's just panties.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep saying it.
Yes.
Yep.
Say it throughout this whole
The whole
story.
time. Yep. Because what it is you do have to face uncomfortability, and
Yes.
then that's how you get through it, and that's how you build resilience. So I'm gonna help you through this now.
It's a mental callus.
It is. And so why did I decide to do this?
Yeah.
Well, I I've always proudly spoken about how the panties, it doesn't bother me. Stuff doesn't ride up. I'm sitting in pants right now. It's not like the seam is deep inside my vulva. I just don't have that issue.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting. I'm not moving that much.
True.
But when it comes to Disney, you are walking like 25,000 steps a day.
I know.
And I decided that this trip, because it was so hot, I knew it was going to be in like the 80s, low 90s, that I would just wear athletic dresses the whole time.
Yeah, perfect.
And with the athletic dresses, you have the little shorty shorts built in.
Well, that's true.
You have them built in. But even then, I think just because you're walking so much and doing this motion,
Yeah.
it can't help but just ride up. It can't help but kind of get in there, you know?
Oh, and because it is like a spandex, so
Yeah.
that it's meant to get tight on your skin.
And it does. But it doesn't bother me in my everyday life
Yeah,
when I'm
because
wearing
you're not
it.
walking like
You're just
that.
not walking as much.
Yeah.
But in this case, I had made that mistake once or twice. And it's not like I was getting chafing or
Yeah.
irritation or itchiness, but I just thought maybe this is why people wear panties.
It could be.
Could be. So I decided to bring 4 pair with me, and I put them on, one with each athletic dress. And I got to say, I think I enjoyed it better.
You did.
I did. Now I didn't. As soon as I came back, the panties were off.
Now, we had talked about months ago you needed to order smaller size panties. Have you,
Yeah.
you did that?
I did finally do that. No, I did that quite some time ago. And
Okay, because the panties were going to just fly off your body.
They were just falling off at that point. But I was like, it's $15 for 6 pair. And like, how do I want to spend that? But I did.
Okay.
I did.
I'm glad. I'm
I
really
did
glad.
I got the Amazon multi-pack of ones that I do love, and y'all have bought them through my link, and you love them too.
Yes.
And so I did. I wore them, and you know what's something that's been going through my mind is that people talk about weight loss, and
Yeah.
they talk about like getting into a smaller size, and obviously I've been very open about all the things. I don't really see anybody talk about the second season that you get to still wear the smaller size. So I have finally hit 1 year since losing the weight,
Yeah.
and that this is the second season where I actually get to re-wear the clothes from last time, because any other time I lost weight, I had already regained it and I never got to touch those clothes
You're
again.
so right. This is your second spring.
This is my second spring getting to wear some of these clothes,
And you're pulling it out and everything's fitting and you feel great.
and it's really crazy. It's actually like a mental mind for me a little bit,
Oh my
because I'm just
gosh.
like, the idea of like,
You did it.
you did it. Like you kept it off.
You did it.
You did it without the medication.
Without the medication.
You kept it off, and you get to enjoy these clothes now for a whole second season, when usually you're such a freaking failure. Any other time that you lost weight, you gained it right back. And so that one smaller thing that you got, you never got to see again, and you never will. And so to be able to be like, you did it. Like
I
that
love
is
that.
really throwing me for a loop right now, that I'm like, oh, wait. I could rewear this.
And also, you're a budget girly, and I know that makes your heart happy.
Delights me. So maybe I will buy a second set of panties.
You should.
All that money I'm saving from actually wearing the clothes again. Like, it just has never happened for me that way, except for obviously in the larger size. What I'm saying is anytime I was like isogenics and I lost 16 pounds,
Yeah.
and I'm going to go buy a very comfortable medium.
Yeah.
And then I would wear it, and then I'd gain the weight back as quickly as I, lost it. And then I would never put that thing on again. And so I'd be like, you just wasted money. You bought it for one time, for one thing. And so we're not talking about a gala dress. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
But just like, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks
Yeah.
to not be able to rewear stuff. And so,
Well, and also
we've
just
talked about
putting
that
on,
too.
that's a reminder of just like that stings.
Keep going.
It stings.
Oh, that. Yeah.
well,
yeah, the other way. Yeah. Yeah.
when it doesn't fit, it just makes you feel defeated. Like you may already know, like, I know I've gained, 15 more pounds or whatever since last year, but then putting that thing on and it
It's
not
a stark
fitting,
reminder.
That's tough.
You can't avoid that. You can't avoid that. So, anyway, you guys, I did wear panties at Disney. I thought that I thought it was an important enough development to actually make it number 20. Panties at Disney is what it says.
20.
Because I want you to know, much like you've said earlier, it's nice to hear you admit when you make mistakes. I have no problem saying.
I know she's gonna hang on to this. Don't
know it.
hang on to this.
So will this be what breaks us up? I don't know. No, it is, but it's true. I get it. Like, I'm someone who I come off as like an authority, and I try to
what
be
it
the
is.
expert and tell people all the things.
But you do. You like.
It's because of my experience.
But that's what it is. You like to tell people, I know this for a fact, but it's because you went through it and experienced it, and maybe it had a negative consequence or whatever for it. And so you're just sharing and feeling very sure of yourself in what you're sharing.
Speaking of another update, real quick, Bella's already taken Snapchat off her phone.
When I tell you, people could not believe what we revealed. People could not believe the things that we told them.
Oh, in that whole episode?
Yeah,
I mean, it was chock full.
About how they start at the forehead. Erin Hall, y'all, Erin Hall is so silly. She talks about her forehead all of the time.
Oh, she does. She does talk about her forehead.
She's such a goofball about it. And she said, I would have never survived. I would have never survived being a teen or a college student during this time, because if I had to start with my forehead, they would have immediately blocked me.
Yeah, it would have been like, no second picture for you. We're not making our way down.
She's like, I could have snapped 3 different parts of my forehead.
Oh my God, Erin, that's so funny.
Isn't that silly?
Yeah, no, Bella's already like, I'm off.
Really?
Yeah.
What about that nice young man that was on the snap?
He never came back to NC State after spring break.
No. Where did he go?
We definitely know it wasn't a catfish. Like, we know he was enrolled in everything. But yeah,
He didn't come back.
he didn't come back. So she was like, no.
No.
Like, the whole point was to try to have a local boyfriend, because I've already been
Yeah.
through the long distance thing. And I need someone who's here in front of me and who is who he says he is. And that includes you currently being enrolled in college. But that's okay. She's already shaken it off.
Okay.
She did delete Snapchat. She said it's not even that it was a detriment. It wasn't scary. She had not been sent anything that she didn't want to see. But she just said, I have a fashion show coming up.
Yep.
Now I'm nearing the end of my semester. They get out in like late April or something. She's like, I think until I finish out my freshman year, it just doesn't even need to be any sort of distraction. She didn't keep up with streaks. She didn't care about any of that
so
stuff.
wise.
She just said, I don't need this distraction. I need to stay super focused for about 4 more weeks.
I love that.
And then if I want to get back on it when it comes summertime and I just have a job to worry about and, everything else that she kind of does at home, great, then I'll do that. But yeah, she said it's already gone. So y'all, that was 3 weeks.
I love that. She's just such a smart, wise, level-headed girly. And
She knows herself well.
to be 18 years old and
Yeah.
to be able to make that decision and say, this is not serving me and I'm going to delete it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm amazed.
But it also is to show that, like, I think people feel like, because I'm so rigid and strict with my kids about social media and things, that they will rebel, and that the second they get it, they will.
No.
And this just is another prime example. So this is, again, where I am right.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah, I am right here.
You are.
Another prime example that you can be really strict about this, but keeping those lines of communications open, so much so that they come to you even as an adult and ask if they're allowed to have this app.
Yeah.
And yet still say, you know what, Mom, those things that we had talked about that might be a negative thing for me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's serving me, and I need to stay super focused, and I'm going to delete it. And everyone wants to say that. They want to tell you that if you prevent and if you hold back and everything, that they're just going to finally get it and they're going to go crazy on it, and it's going to be even worse. No, not really.
And I think the difference is you don't hide anything from them. That's what the allure is for kids that are kept from these apps and these devices or whatever.
As if they don't exist.
As
like
if
it's a thing we can't talk about.
And there's an adult secrecy where it's like, we have to keep this hidden from you, child. Like, we can't let you know. You have been very transparent with the girls about what these social media apps are. They've seen what you do with influencing. You tell them everything that's going on. Like, nothing is hidden from Bella and Lily. They know all of it, and they understand why you have your rules because of some of those things. So they trust and they respect. And guess what? Snapchat proved to be exactly what you said it was going to be.
Yep.
What you said would happen is what happened.
Exactly. And I think a rule of thumb for this sort of stuff is guide, not hide. Guide, not hide. Because no one ever says, I wish I knew less about something.
Yes.
Teaching your kids about stuff doesn't actually make them want to do it more. It just educates them to the pitfalls or the negatives that are associated with them.
Yes.
So this idea that like, no, we can't talk about that. That's this thing that's just shoved away here. It makes it so secretive that they do eventually seek out knowledge about it and they go to someone else. So just obviously all the things that we say, connection breeds cooperation. That in a sense does not equal ignorance, but also guide, don't hide.
Love that.
Guide, don't hide.
I want that on my body. I'm going to tattoo that on me.
That's your tattoo?
I'm putting that somewhere.
Finally got you in one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my panties at Disney.
There is no way for me to segue this.
Oh, come on.
Panties at Disney.
Come on. Ooh, maybe this is what we should do every time, Kristen. It's like it actually has to be a fun game where we do have to segue and you have to figure out how ridiculous it's going to be to get there.
Okay. I've wanted to know if you have seen this. So much like I never see you with panties.
Good. That's good. Yeah. But this is a fun game. People will have to figure out how we're going to segue. Like, and it's like that's part of waiting for the next story. Is like, how the hell am I going to segue out of this one?
Much like I never see you with panties.
Not right now.
Have you ever seen?
Yeah.
Have you seen any of these videos going around of people arm wrestling and it breaks their arm?
No, and I don't want to.
Y'all, I need to know
to
of some of the podcasts because I've seen maybe 5.
Oh dear, you're getting fed these?
And typically it's women that are arm wrestling.
No.
It's not as much with the men. And I think that has something to do with their muscle mass. But apparently people should not be arm wrestling. And what it is you can be really locked in and you feel strong and it's 2 very strong people and you're kind of going back and forth and it will snap your bone.
No.
It will fully, this bone right here on your forearm, it will, the way that you're kind of pushing so hard, these videos, it just snaps. Like the bone is just like pushing on the skin. And you see the woman retract.
I've seen a broken arm like that in my real life.
In your real life?
Yeah, Jimbule Robertson's son Charlie. When we went to the Outer Banks one time, never again. It's a 7-hour drive. You stay in North Carolina. Make it make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Outer Banks is so far.
It's never going to be me. Y'all know I already don't like the beach, and then you want me to drive 7 hours to get to a beach and stay within my own state? No, if I'm driving 7, you know my rules. If I'm driving 7, I'm going to end up in 3 places: DC, Nashville, or Disney. That's it. But I'm not staying in my same state and going to stand on sand. So anyway, Jen got me. She goes, you wanted me to send the Outer Banks because they were living in D.C. This was a million years ago.
You could have just driven to D.C.
I was like, well, why? She's like, well, we already have the house. Just come join us in the house and we can do a beach vacay.
Okay.
I literally woke my family up the next morning and said, okay, let's get in the car. We're going to the beach. I never even had Googled it. I just assumed it was 3 hours away. Because every beach in North Carolina is 3 hours away.
So y'all got there at like night.
Yeah. So I go to plug it into like the GPS and it's like 7 hours and 12 minutes. I said, it is.
Oh my gosh. I would have screamed, cried, thrown up.
I had no clue. I said, okay, well then I guess that Joshua was like, Miranda.
He's like, how could you do this to me? ?
Absolutely. He said the question mark out loud. It's terrible. It's terrible. I texted Jen. I'm like, well, okay, we're going to be there, but like, don't count us in for lunch. Like, we'll see if we can meet you for dinner or dessert.
At the Crab Shack.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you could get some crab legs,
I was ticked. You know, it was slightly redeemed because they have duck donuts there.
Ooh, love a duck donut.
Okay.
So
anyway,
how did he break? He broke his arm or his leg?
his arm.
Okay.
So Charlie, her son, and Bella was chasing Charlie, just like a little tag around the house.
Yeah.
Cat and mouse game. And Charlie hops up onto the top of the bunk bed to get away from her. Bella hops up there and he goes to jump off and he falls and his arm breaks his fall. I hear the thud. I am by the front door. I said, "What was that?" And Charlie goes, "I fell." And I said, "Okay, well, come here. Let me help you." And he just walks right up. He just walks up to me and he goes, "This is what I hurt." And when I tell y'all, just like my wrist is like this, but it was right here.
This was so limp
Oh, just completely limp. And you see the bone pushing against the skin right here.
that I'm going to throw up.
I know. It was, y'all,
Oh.
I can do any emergency. Any emergency. I said, "Oh my God, Charlie. Okay, you have 100% broken your arm. We need to find your mother immediately. Let me go find her. Don't move."
Don't move.
And I'm like, Jen. She's like, "What?" I'm like, "I'm going to prepare you right now." I went and found her in the house. I said, "I'm going to prepare you right now." Charlie broke his arm in half. It is wild to see. You need to like keep it together or I think he's going to like freak them. And so she comes up and she's like, "Oh my God, Mike. I mean, and they just rushed to the hospital. And the guy at Kitty Hawk Hospital was like,
Kitty Hawk Hospital.
Kitty Hawk Hospital. The guy was like, "Oh yeah." I mean, he was in board shorts, she said. They literally called him off the surf. Like he was surfing.
No.
Oh yeah, he came in. He was like, "I was just catching some waves."
Not the board short surgeon.
Board shorts and flip flops.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
At Kitty Hawk
At
Hospital.
Kitty Hawk Hospital. And he set his arm. He put it right back together, set his arm, and he was in a cast for months. But then the rest of the beach vacation.
I know, poor buddy.
So we ordered from Amazon. We got like one of those sleeves that goes on and you can like vacuum
Yes.
seal
Yeah,
it.
yeah. There's ways to keep it watertight.
We did the best that we could, but Bella's always felt badly about it because she's like, "I'm the one who was chasing him. He jumped off the bed because I was trying to tag him,
No,
and then he
but
snapped his arm."
These are the things that just happen.
I know.
They are.
But I've seen it in real life.
So the point is, you guys, I literally just need us
Don't
to
arm
be-
wrestle.
I think especially as women.
Yeah, brittle
because
bones.
that is something I've done. Like every once in a while, I don't know why, it just comes
Yeah.
up. You're down in Myrtle Beach. You're at Senior Frogs.
You're
at
certainly not in the Outer Banks, but you're a Dirty Myrtle.
Yeah, you're a Dirty Myrtle, and you've had one just like low grade margarita. And you know you're gonna feel bad the next day, and it's like, oh my gosh, let's arm wrestle. Let's see. Like
Yeah.
I could totally see you and I doing this.
100. I'm sure we have arm wrestled
Right?
before.
And I know that you would defeat me and you would also break my arm.
And I don't want to do that. I think it's because we have higher rates of osteoporosis.
Yes.
And it's something about the milk. Maybe it's because we're breastfeeding so much, we aren't taking enough in.
That's it. We didn't take enough milk in when the
Yeah.
milk was coming out.
That's it. That's
That's
what
what
it
it
is. So what Kristen's saying is no more arm wrestling and also don't play tag with Bella.
Don't play
Don't.
tag with Bella.
Don't do it.
And
She'll
don't
get you.
breastfeed so much.
And don't let that baby cry in the middle of the night.
This is an educational podcast.
Hold on, was that today's? I mean, is that this episode where we started talking? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was this episode.
We've really come back to milk. This is actually sponsored by Got Milk. This is an ad, and I wish.
I wish.
We'll put on those mustaches,
the little
Milk.
milk mustache.
Let me tell you that. We sure will.
All right, how are you going to segue the broken arms?
Okay, I got it. Speaking of kids,
Yeah.
not being well.
Yes.
And not being well and potentially hurting themselves.
Yes.
Have y'all seen those slingshot videos on Reels? And it's the thing like at the fair or a carnival, and it slingshots you, and you can video yourself.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm
Yes,
talking
I know.
about?
And some people,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's always, without fail, it's always like macho bro dudes.
Yes.
Coming up here, or a macho bro dude trying to woo his lady.
Yeah, he's trying to impress his date.
He's trying to impress his date.
Yes.
And so he's like, let's do the slingshot. I'm going to buy you this baby.
Yes.
It's a $25 per head experience. I got it. And I'm paying extra for the video.
For the video.
And that slingshot takes off. And the dude, the big burly dude goes like this.
And then,
And then
and just totally passes out.
just totally passes out.
It is the funniest.
It's so funny because 5 seconds later, he wakes up.
Yep.
The eyes are open. He's looking around like, where the hell am I?
And then
Out again.
and then
Up again. Looks around, and sometimes they'll look at the girl, and the girl's like, woo!
yeah, the girl's giggling.
And he's like, woo! Like he's
then,
trying to muster something, and then just passes out again.
Those, I could watch 100 of those in a row.
So funny.
It is, and it's usually one person's fine.
Yep.
And the next person can't handle it.
And it's someone it's someone who's so terrified, and their friend has talked them into it.
Yeah.
And the friend's like, you got it. And they're like, I don't think I do. And they are out.
They
are
just
out.
immediately pass out.
Yes, your body shuts down from fear. So your fight or flight is competing, and the flight is like, okay, you win.
Yeah, you win.
I can't fight this.
I can't do this.
I'm flighting this.
I'm a medieval peasant, and I know if I'm feeling these feelings, then I'm dying.
I'm dying.
Like, that's what Matt and I say all the time about these types of rides or roller coasters. Like, imagine putting a peasant on one of these, someone from the 1600s, because they never got to feel that kind of feeling, because if they did, they were dying. They had fallen off a cliff. They were pushed, over whatever. That was the only time they got to feel it, and now they're squished on the ground.
And they don't have to have a memory because they're dead.
For us, we're like, wee! We get to feel
the
that.
crazier, the better for me.
Yes,
I
we
like to
love it.
feel like I'm falling, dropping, fast,
Yes.
G-force. It doesn't matter. As long as it's not going to give me like a terrible migraine. Like some of the rides where you have to pull over the harness over the top, I just know my head's going to knock in between
I
those.
don't like that.
But if it's fun enough, I'll do it, and I'll take an Excedrin.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm there with John, Joy, and the 4 kids.
Yeah.
And Ethan, my 12-year-old nephew, has said, like, Dee Dee, I'm a little scared of roller coasters. But the day before, he had gone to Universal.
Yeah.
He did Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
And then the first ride we started with at Disney was Mission Space, which is where you feel like you're taking off and it's very claustrophobic and you're shaking and, you feel like an astronaut. He did that, loved it. So Guardians is at like a 45-minute or 60-minute wait, which is not bad. We weren't able to purchase any lightning lanes for it, nothing. So I was like, this might be our only chance, and it is the best ride in the park, you guys. This is one of the best coasters you're ever going to go on.
Have to do it.
So who wants to do it? And everyone's like, okay, Dee Dee, let's do it. Down to Evie, Gavin, Ethan, Aiden, John, Joy, me, we're all in Guardians.
Okay.
I'm kind of shocked because Evie has also proclaimed that she is very scared of roller coasters.
Okay. I'm nervous.
So but they could have dipped out at any time. And I had already walked her off of Mission Space 20 minutes beforehand.
Okay.
She got in there. She freaked out. She said, out. And we literally had to stop the ride, and I had to walk her off.
Okay.
So when we get to Guardians and she's back to gung ho, I'm like, okay, maybe she wants to face her fear. Maybe the discussion we had in the hallway about sometimes we do have to be uncomfortable and it builds resilience really stuck with her. Pat on the back.
I was right.
Thank you. Finally, she says it. So we get all the way to the front. They wait in the line for 60 minutes. Again, could have just said no, abort mission.
Yeah.
Get all the way up. They decide that it's going to be Evie and Aiden, then it's going to be Ethan and me, and then the rest of them are kind of in another car behind us.
Okay.
So we get in. We've done the pre-shows. We are now getting to the part right before the G-force pulls you back. All right. I'm like, what song do you think we're going to get?
Yeah, the song.
We never know. It's always a surprise. Here are the ones that I want. Let me know if you recognize it when it starts. The G-force hits. I hear Ethan, and I'm like, oh, he's loving it. He's screaming, yay. And then it stops. And I look over and he
passed out.
Oh, Kristen.
Ethan passed out?
Oh, Kristen. It was so bad. Oh, he passed out. And I was like, oh my, are you, Ethan? Ethan, wake up, grab Dee Dee's hand. Ethan, look, you can see the moon. This is so beautiful. Listen to the song. He opened.
Like scream.
Out. Opened. Out. The whole ride.
No.
The whole ride.
And this was like fear-induced.
Oh.
This was fear-induced. It wasn't just the motion of it, it was the fear.
It was the fear. He full-blown panic attack afterwards. I mean, it was terrible.
No.
I felt awful. I felt so
How
bad.
did the other two do that you could see?
Oh, Evie. So I'm trying to keep Ethan alive. And Evie is in the front going, get me off of this ride. Somebody save me. Stop. I mean, she's hysterically crying.
Oh my God. gosh.
She didn't calm down for, I mean, I don't think I ever regained her trust in those 4 days. She barely would go on another thing.
No.
No.
Here's the thing.
Mm-mm.
Guardians it's fast.
It's so fast.
but it's smooth. It's the smoothest coaster I've ever been on.
Right?
And you're not outside. I feel
Right.
like when you are on even a smooth coaster, if it's outside, you can really see the distance and,
Yes.
and the horizon, and it feels a little more scary.
You can also see all the loops. You can start to
Yeah.
anticipate things.
But this is just more, it's just very fast.
Yeah.
And you're seeing a lot of cool things around
Yeah.
you. And man, I'm shocked.
It was.
I mean, I guess I can understand for her. She is very young. Like, she's the youngest.
Yeah, she's 7 and she doesn't love coasters, but she had done some things the day before at Universal as well. And so I'm like, okay. Oh, she told me, Dee Dee, I didn't like the Spider-Man one because it's 4D and it felt like things were leaping into my face. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
this isn't 4D, honey.
Yeah.
This is just a coaster.
Yeah,
like it's
just
a regular coaster.
It doesn't go upside down.
It doesn't. You only have a little lap harness.
Yeah.
Like it's really, for me, it is an incredible coaster because it's smooth and because it's fast and because
Yeah.
it's dark and it's cold and it's so beautifully done.
It's the
but it
effects
doesn't
of it.
jostle you around at all. So I love it. I
Oh.
feel like if you're going to do any coaster, it's that one.
Fully agree. Fully co-sign.
So it was. I could not believe it,
I
but it was
cannot
so
believe
weird
this.
to see someone pass out that many times.
Okay, so when did he finally wake up? By at the very, very end?
At the very, I mean, he would come in and out.
In and out.
I would just keep shaking his hands and being like, Ethan, please just open your eyes and just, if maybe you'll open your eyes, you can focus on something and it'll help
Yeah.
keep you awake. Mm-mm. No, every time he opened his eyes, he got so scared again, his body shut down. So he came off the ride. My brother did a really good job of like forehead to forehead, feel my heartbeat beat with yours. Let's do counting and breathing. You know, we'll calm you down. We'll get you down. Remember, my mom had a panic attack coming off of
She
it right before
did.
the cruise.
She
She
did.
could barely walk. She was struggling to breathe. Summer's mom was walking sideways off the ride. Like, I do remember that things were happening. And anyway, y'all just know that it was. I've now seen it in person. I've seen the broken arm, and I've seen the fainting.
You've seen the fainting in person.
And we said no more coasters for Ethan. Like that was a done deal. After that, after you pass out, I'm like, okay, you can choose. Now he got right on Soarin'. He did great. So at least he was willing to try again. After the fact, he was like, Dee Dee, I know that coaster wasn't for me and I can identify why. But I'm going to try other things. If you'll
Okay.
just explain them to me beforehand, explain them really, really well, and I'll decide if I want to do it. He got right back up on stuff. Now, we didn't do any more coasters. He didn't do Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. He didn't do like Slinky Dog, like even those. Like he was just like, I think I'm good on the coasters, but I'll do everything else. And he did without complaint. And at the end of the day, he came in to my bed and gave me a big hug. And he goes, Dee Dee, this was the best day ever. I said, really? And he goes, yeah. And I said, even after Guardians and fainting? He goes, well, it couldn't bother me that much. I don't remember any of it.
I mean, it's true. Like
Yeah.
the fainting actually protected him.
It did.
I mean,
He's got nothing. He said at one point when I opened my eyes, I do remember seeing the moon.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's the
That's
best
the
part.
best part.
That's the best part. And he was just like, yep. And then that's it. Yeah, got nothing.
I gotta decide what to do because I really, I've talked this up to my
Yeah.
family, of course.
Yeah.
I really want all of them to do it. I don't know when we would be going there, but
Yeah.
let's say sometime within the next year, Lachlan would be 7.
Then let him do it. There were other 7-year-olds on it who were like,
Yeah,
"Whoa."
Lachlan loves a roller coaster. If he is tall enough to ride something,
Yes.
he will ride it. He has ridden many things
Yeah.
at Busch Gardens, so I
Yes.
feel like
Oh, he'll
he'd
be
okay.
good. And does he love Guardians? What I would do if
My
I were
older
you,
two have seen Guardians. I don't know if Lachlan's watched Guardians.
that's what I would do. I would get him more hooked on the story. And so that way, when you're going through the ride, if he's feeling any sort of way, you're like, look, there's Yondu, or here's this, or
Yeah.
here's that. And like, he can focus on
That's
it.
a great idea. Okay,
But-
I'm going to do that.
I've never seen it in real life.
Wow.
And it was crazy to see and to be the one sitting next to him while it was happening. But I'm glad it was me at the same time because
Sure.
I've already done the ride. So I know what to anticipate. I know
Yeah.
when we're nearing the end. I know all that sort of stuff. John and Joy, it was their first time. So if they were sitting next to him, I think that they would have been like panicked. And they're not. They're military people.
Yeah.
They've seen it all.
They've
but
seen
still,
it.
that's your kid.
But also, you wanted them to focus on the ride.
I wanted them to enjoy it. So that's
Yeah.
why I said, I'm going to take him and I'm going to be catty corner to Evie and keep my eyeballs on her.
Yeah.
Because I knew that those were the 2 wild cards.
Poor Evie needed to pass out, but she didn't.
She did not. She did not. But from that time, it was like, hey, It's Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a boat ride.
Yeah.
I don't want anything that goes up, anything that goes down, anything that drops, anything that starts, any way that I'll get wet, anything that will smell funny. And I mean, the list of absolute no's. See, here's what I'll say. As someone who had very little kids and took them to Disney at 4 and 7, I said to the girls, and we've said this anywhere that we've ever gone, if you're tall enough, you ride it.
Yeah.
There's no option.
That's what we do.
If you're tall enough, you ride it. And then if you hated it, I'm not going to force you to get back on it.
Right.
But you at least have to try it before you decide.
Yes.
And that's how we approached everything.
Also
in life
because
with
it's
them.
like, we've paid to be here.
Right. We paid. And really, like, Disney is made for kids. Those rides have the kids in mind. So they would never do something that would then say to kids, you don't want to come back here. Because it's kids who tell their parents, please take me to Disney. Please take me to Disney.
That's how they make the money.
That's how they make the money. So obviously the point. But there is a pre-show to everything. And that's to hype it up. I mean, there were times that she was like dipping out Zanzibar during the pre-shows. Like, I couldn't even get her into queues.
Wow.
And I've never had a problem
Wow.
with that. But they said that she was like that a little bit at Universal the day before too. But after Guardians, it was just like, nope.
Dang.
Tried soaring twice with her. The guy goes, we got a late bailer. The Disney cast member. I was like, no, you got to sit down. It's holding up the ride. No. Freaking out.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the lesson here, I think, really is save Guardians for the very end.
Yeah.
Right? Do all these other
Yeah.
things before. If you've got
Yeah.
a kid that you think might be a little unsure, maybe save it for the end.
Should have done that last, not second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on me.
I think.
Yeah, that I think and I feel and I fear
Yeah.
that we were not live, laugh, loving. That.
I can't believe this. I'm glad you saved it for the pod. I was wondering about it. 'Cause
Yeah, I
you had
kind of
teased.
alluded to it. I had teased it.
You're such a tease.
I am such a tease, but I just felt like this is a story for the podcast. You know what? If you're on my Instagram, I appreciate you. I love you. But if you're not going to listen to the podcast, you don't get all the stories.
Point blank, period.
Thank you.
All right. Speaking of kids, I have one that I have to go get.
Yeah, continuare.
Continuare. I mean, that's it. We're on the cruise. Go watch our Instagram. We're having
on
a great
the
time.
cruise. Set sail.
Unlimited food.
Oceans.